I was meditating, and usually my agenda, I'll think about what I do for this year. So one thing I'm seeing is my teacher, who's my sponsor for the 12 step program. Whenever he comes on, right, he'll be doing like a live show, and there'll be 1,200 people being very respectful. There'll be four people, they'll keep on saying, "You're a bastard, you're a bastard, you're no good." Just four people, that's all. That's their main role. They'll wait for him to go live. So one thing I was thinking was, the reason I even bothered me is, after the sermon is over, the person who made the negative comment, I'll remember his name like for 3-4 days.
Right, right.
It's like instead of praying, you're remembering the bad ones.
I know.
And I am going to mention his name. His name is Sendel. So how he'll call him a bastard and other stuff. So what I'm thinking is, I'm going to teach YouTube etiquette. I'm going to do @handle Sendel. Hey, by the way, I checked, and he has a father, he has a mother. This is the name. I mean, it's just like a validation therapy, because I feel I have a patient who's paraplegic. Okay, she cannot get up. Her mind is nasty. She will make all sorts of a negative comment to anybody. Are you do wound care for? These are the people who are making comments in YouTube because they cannot get out of bed. Their world is just the computer in their brain, and they spit out their toxins. And I wrote to Google. I said, can you stop this? They said they can do nothing. And I'm saying, so sometimes these are like severely tough patients. So I feel, never validate a mentally ill person. But at the same time, you need to have some sort of boundary. So I was yesterday meditating, I'm saying, and my teacher was saying, last night it was in Tamil. My language is called Tamil. We use a different way. In Tamil, he was saying, pride is called Perumai. That's the way we'll say Peru, P-R-U, my, M-I, M-A-I, Perumai. But if you don't hold that pride space, if you cannot hold that space, Pora, Peru means you have it. Pora means you don't have it. Poramai is jealousy. So original word, right? It writes Perumai, Poramai. So the holding space is the same, except you have an empty space, you have a space filled with stuff. The people who don't have that space, he says they only see the end result. Like he has let's say 20 million viewers. I don't know exactly how many he has. But this person has no view. Okay. And they see he's digged up in gold and other stuff. And they are so jealous. Okay. But he says the reason is they don't want to credit for all the work he did, how hard he worked, and how he was incarcerated because he was trying to do the right thing. Politician pretended he did something wrong, and actually really demasculated. They actually, some of the atrocities they did, they arrest him, okay, on a pretext he's sexual molester. They masturbate him deliberately, and he didn't react at all. They torture him by putting him on the floor. And I'm saying, this is what they did it to Jesus too. And we all watched. I'm saying, isn't it time for us to wake up? And so he was sat on the floor, and they'll pour water, so he'll struggle. I'm like saying, who gives these idiots all these views of how you can? It's not even human rights, and it's your own people you're bothering. So then afterwards, after 53 days, he started healing prisoners right inside. They started to line up and come and get healed by him. And that got scary for the police officers. They started lining up and praying to him. Eventually, they let him go. And he actually was in front of a group of people. They were all meditating. He disappeared for a few seconds from his chair and came back. So he is able to perform miracles. But unfortunately, people are so caught up in their own inability to see. They're holding that empty space. So when I was saying that, I felt like a mother watching their child being hurt, and do nothing about it. All because of politicians. all because the politicians want to split the country so the chaos, they'll get the votes from the people who are negative, and then they go back and say it another way so they can. The kind of like, they are running a different agenda. And it's not about spirituality, it's all about politics. Even in this country, Catholic coalition, they do. So they can remember Trump and Hillary Clinton went and they sacked the Pope, I mean, the cardinals, right? And Trump, in front of everybody, said to Hillary Clinton, look at her pretending to be a Catholist.
I know they just had a big thing up in Canada where the prime minister went to India, and they got, not that they got mad at him, but they I guess he caters to a certain voting bloc. When you say politics, like that wants a separate Palestinian,
Yeah.
separate state.
See, the problem is, right, negative campaigning. That's the only thing. And it also happens here. Don't put slander on somebody just so that you can get your agenda forward. That's the only thing. So I felt yesterday very touched to do something about it. And then today morning, like, they were discussing on the radio and they were saying this girl was going nuts. And our brother calls and tells the police. They said, check on her. She's like, loose cannon. Nobody takes it seriously,
No, I know.
So then she goes and shoots up. How do they get the guns? Like, I'm like saying, I mean, it's mind-boggling, like some of the stuff. Freedom of speech is given a wrong context. Freedom of speech doesn't give you a right to behave atrociously. You need to have some sort of a, like how they call it, disorderly conduct. The police can arrest, right? Why cannot they do it on the internet? I'm like, why does it even apply only to the people who are like activating others? Disorderly conduct should be a problem even on the internet. If you are telling other high school kids they cannot do cyberbullying, how are the people threatening others and getting away with it? So like I think in some ways maybe something good would come out of it, which saddens me. You don't need to be hurt for somebody to like wake up. But I have been having challenges with YouTube. So what I did was all my videos make so that nobody can comment. I feel what people think of me is not my business. I'm not here to get likes or dislikes from people. If by chance it helps you, go watch it and use it on yourself.
Right.
But you don't need to come and tell me that I'm good or bad, because both is not going to be useful for you or me. Because if by chance I'm waiting for them to praise me, and I'm going to be overwhelmed when they insult me. And I feel this way, I don't need to worry about either this or that. If you didn't like it, I'm sorry you didn't like it, But my purpose is to record it so that like I will have a way. If let's say somebody has a topic, this happens in like some situation where I will have a very, very tough patient. They will end up like, I have one guy, he will end up having the same question every session for the past 12 weeks. So it makes it easier for me to pull up that video. Hey, let's watch together. So sometimes I feel it's like frequently asked question. Let's click this,
Right.
So let's play it. And that's why I record, because I was asking in the nursing home, I said, hey, what do you guys want me to record on YouTube? Because I cannot spend time with you guys, but I really want to help you to solve some of the issues. And because I have gone through dysfunctional relationship, I have gone through tough patient population, mental illness and stuff. So they said, talk about relationship. It's very important. How to heal ourselves when we have an issue. And then what is the third one? They said, marijuana, to get into business. So I said, so these are things I can see. Sometimes I remember what I said. Sometimes it makes it easier. Like that's why we recorded it together, right? Having a slides and recording. What it allows me is to play your tape while I'm doing the lecture and pause and answer question. You saw the second video I did, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it so easy instead of like me, like, trying to talk again and again? It bores me too. Like I feel I'm sick of like hearing me again.
But you're good. You're knowledgeable. It makes it easy to follow because you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I feel that's the reason I record, and I feel like if it served somebody, I feel at least I've done like one life Like most of them, like, I record just thinking one person for that video. I'm not even focusing on it. The reason I'm recording it is like, I was watching his sermon 12. So the Massachusetts regulation is a 4/2/2018. Remember we were opening the application. So I'm waiting, and they have only videos how to create a login, blah 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 blah. It was very nice Vimeo videos. Cannabis Commission has done a wonderful job, by the way.
Yes.
So they took over. The DPH is now controlling by Cannabis Commission, and they've like thought through many of the issues, which is nice. They really are really doing a very good job. I'm so proud of them. So they wouldn't even answer my call. I called. They said, "Oh well, maybe a lot of nuts like me are calling."
Oh no, you're fine.
So then 12:01 on 4/3/2018, I was still watching my teacher's satsang, and it comes. I get an email alert saying, because I put myself on alert. It says, "By the way, you apply." And then Zoom, I went in, created a login because I already watched all the video the whole day.
Right.
So then 12:07, my application was done.
That's great.
So they wanted the only two applications they're taking now is the big boys, like the retailers with $1 million. So all the dispensary now will be converted into retail. So July 1st, you'll be able to go and buy because they will go for it. And then the second one they are saying is whoever is impacted by this issue, that is, if you were incarcerated with cannabis, if they had addiction problem, that cannabis is the only thing that helps. They have felony, they cannot get a job. If you focus on them, you will be given preference. So that's the way I apply as a priority applicant. And they said, what is the proof? I have a newspaper article. They said, the only doctor in Massachusetts who does cannabis for addiction. I had like a big Metro-West column. So I just downloaded it and uploaded it. I felt like, they can read that. And then they said a certificate of good standing. And because I buttoned the certification, I had to apply to prove to them that my business is in good standing. So I uploaded it. So afterwards, like, any article they wanted, I could, only 4 pages I needed to do. And then afterwards, like, they wanted which criteria you want to apply. I said, first, research. Second is independent transporter. The reason independent transporter is you can be in cannabis world. I think we spoke about it. You need to be 2 drivers, just like the bank when you transfer money, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if we can apply through that, people who can be like kind of a Uber service for cannabis, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say one person is not available. You don't want to like lose business, so you need to have backup guys. So I am like thinking we should have like a network of like 10 people you can call on, like like, hey, I'm down, I have a tire that burst, can you come like pick me up? Or so I feel like this way you can like be up ahead, and I feel this is the 2 industry right now I'm focusing on. And the third one is the cooperative, where I feel if anybody wants to do any business, let's say, that's where you need to have a farming license. So I already applied for that, because this way, one of the criteria is one person that cooperative has to be a farmer. And then if I had my Schedule F in, I'll be like part of the coalition. So I'm keeping mine very simple. Like I'm not like really aiming for, because I want to learn what not to do. See, the only thing license is going to tell you is what not to do, how not to get into trouble.
Right.
What you can do is like going to come after 5 years.
Yeah, but you're right by the book. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, but the thing is like, they make up the rule after we fail. Let's say I get busted, right? Because already they are saying you're going to have undercover people coming and buying, and you cannot sell it to consumers. They have like so many stipulations. So already, like, today I had a phone call. One guy calls and says, and he sounds like really very, very formal, nice. And he says, I want to get certified. What do I need to do? Like, like sometimes the way they talk, like, you can say, you wait until now, hello, it's going to be recreational, you want a license?
Right.
So I told him, I don't have any new patients. I don't have any opening. I'm doing 1 year internship. If you're willing to commit to learning with me for 1 year, I'll certify you. He says, oh, I don't want it. I said, okay. Because the people who really want it will do anything to learn.
Right.
And that's how you can tell. And I also have 600 patients I've certified. I told them I have enough patients. I don't need to take one new one now. Why do I want to even get into patient business?
Yeah.
So it's very interesting how things are evolving.